Now, what is the purpose of shadow banking? It has got nothing to do with investing in a particular market. It has got everything to do with a simple working capital generation between two parties. And these are settled typically between a few hours to that of 90 days. That is all is the purpose of shadow banking. But to this end, we also know that there is a heavy usage of tools which are available only to the shadow banking regime, which is not available in conventional banking. When these tools catch fire, what happens? Let us look at an analogy of that of a musical chair. In a musical chair, if there are 5 children and 4 chairs, then when the music stops, then 4 children will occupy the chair and 1 child will have to be eliminated from the round. Similarly, when a crisis hits in the shadow banking regime, or 5 people will be there and there will be only 1 chair, and all of them will try and struggle to get hold of that chair. But we can't afford to eliminate anyone because we are speaking for a trade worth trillions of dollars. And that time, what will come in handy is the US Federal Reserve and the US Treasury. Their role is irreplaceable. Stay tuned.
Have you ever watched the news and seen a financial problem pop up in one part of the world, and then suddenly, markets everywhere just tank? It feels totally random, right? A little chaotic, even scary. Well, today, we're going to unravel that mystery using a really simple analogy: a faulty house.
So that's the big question. I mean, how does a bond problem in Europe make the stock market in Japan fall? It doesn't seem logical, and yet we see it happen time and time again. But here's the thing, it's not just random panic. There's a hidden reason, a secret infrastructure that ties everything together.
To really get our heads around this, I want you to picture something. Imagine the entire global financial system is just one giant interconnected house. It's got a ton of different rooms, all unique, but they're all part of the very same building.
So let's break this house down, shall we? Each room, well, that's a country's market. You got the US room, the European room, the Indian room, and so on. The furniture inside is all the stuff we hear about every day: stocks, companies, real estate. But the really crucial part, the thing that makes the house actually work, is hidden behind the walls. It's the wiring and the plumbing. And that, right there, is the core of the financial system. A world of loans and the collateral that backs them up.
And this is the key point. Think about it. A house, no matter how gorgeous the furniture is pretty much useless if you can't turn on the lights or get water from the tap. It's the exact same for the global economy. It doesn't run on stock prices. It runs on the hidden, constant flow of credit. It runs on the financial plumbing.
Okay, so this brings us right to the heart of the matter. See, in our big global house, there are two very different kinds of problems you can have. And believe me, one is way, way more dangerous than the other.
On the one hand, you could have a local problem. This is like finding some cracked tiles in one of the bathrooms. It's a mess for that room for sure. Maybe that country's market has a bad week, but the rest of the house, totally fine. The lights stay on everywhere else. But then you have a systemic problem. And this isn't about tiles anymore. Oh no. This is like the main power line for the entire house getting cut. Suddenly, every single room goes dark at the same time.
So what is that main power line? In the financial world, it's something called global collateral. The easiest way to think about it is like a standard-sized pipe or a standard gauge wire that's used throughout the entire house. In the real world, this means super high-quality, dollar-based bonds. And the king of them all are US Treasury bonds. Banks, corporations, governments, everyone relies on these things as the ultimate guarantee to get their daily fund.
So what happens when that universal standard pipe is suddenly seen as unsafe? What happens when the very foundation of the financial plumbing starts to crumble? The effect is immediate and it's total. The power trips, the water pressure vanishes in every single room, all at once. And listen, this is the most important part. It's not because the furniture in any room is bad. The Indian market could be perfectly healthy. US companies could be doing great. It doesn't matter. The shared infrastructure, the plumbing, has failed, and it affects everybody.
Now, what we see from the outside looks like pure panic, but it's actually a very logical response. It's just emergency plumbing. First, everyone gets a warning from the utility company. In finance, that's called a margin call. It's basically a demand to put up more cash right now to secure your connection. And when you need cash fast, what do? You sell your most valuable furniture, your best stocks, gold, anything you can liquidate.
You aren't selling because you suddenly hate your furniture. You're selling to get the cash you need to fix your connection to the grid.
And this explains perfectly why, during these crises, it seems like everything moves together. Normally, stocks might go down and gold might go up. But in a systemic crisis, those correlations can shoot up to nearly 100%. Everything gets sold because everyone is desperate for the exact same thing, cash to fix the plumbing.
Just when it looks like the entire house is about to go completely dark and dry, the emergency plumbers arrive. And these are the only institutions with the power to fix the actual system itself.
First on the scene is the US Federal Reserve, or the Fed. In our analogy, they're like the city's emergency infrastructure department. They don't waste time going into each room to check on the furniture. Nope. They go straight to the source to restore power and water pressure for the whole system.
And working right alongside them is the US Treasury. So if the Fed is the emergency repair crew, the Treasury is the factory. They are the ones who actually make the strongest, most reliable pipes in the world, those US Treasury bonds that everyone uses as collateral.
So how do they fix the house? Well, they have two main ways of doing it. The Fed's method is to buy up the existing pipes, the bonds, that are out there on the market. This injects cash directly into the system, kind of like forcing water back into the pipes to get the pressure up. At the same time, the Treasury starts manufacturing brand new, high-quality pipes and sells them, which expands the total supply of safe collateral for the whole world.
Okay, so all this talk about hidden plumbing and busted pipes, why does any of this actually matter to you? What's the big takeaway from all this?
It matters because this explains the fundamental behavior you see in every major financial crisis. People aren't just selling their assets randomly. They are selling their furniture, their stocks, their gold, to buy the one thing the system desperately needs to survive, the strongest pipes. In a crisis, everyone, everywhere, rushes to the safety of US Treasury bonds.
And that brings us to what might be the most powerful summary of this whole idea. Markets don't crash because the furniture in one room gets broken. They crash when the shared plumbing for the whole house fails. And in today's global house, US Treasuries are the only pipes that fit.
So this entire global house, with all its beautiful rooms and all its valuable furniture, is completely 100% dependent on this hidden plumbing. And that leaves us with one final, pretty crucial question to think about. What happens to the house if, one day, those pipes just can't be replaced?
The entire global financial house was built from the very beginning to use one and only one specific type of pipe. And you can't just decide to swap out the plumbing once the house is already standing.
Now, if you're one of the huge global banks or dealers moving trillions of dollars around every day, you need this plumbing to just work, no questions asked. You need a single, high-quality component, a type of collateral that everyone in the world trusts and everyone can use. It has to work everywhere, and it absolutely cannot fail when things get crazy. And that one, single, universally accepted pipe is the US Treasury bond. That's it. It is the absolute bedrock of the entire global financial system. There is no plan B. There isn't even a close second.
And here's the kicker. This is the part that connects everything together, because these pipes, these US Treasuries, are bought in dollars, settled in dollars, and used for loans in dollars. It means that only one kind of water can actually flow through the global financial plumbing, and that water is the US dollar.
This is honestly the perfect way to think about it. All those bilateral trade deals we see in the headlines, that's just rearranging the furniture in the house. Sure, it looks different, it gets a lot of attention, but it's easy to change. The finance, on the other hand, that's the plumbing hidden in the walls. You can't just change it. You'd have to tear down the entire house and start over from scratch.
So, this next part is a little mind-bending. It's a true paradox. You would think that a big global crisis would weaken the dollar, that it would expose its flaws, right? Well, the reality is the complete opposite. Every crisis actually makes the dollar's plumbing stronger.
Let's just walk through it. Imagine the global markets start to absolutely tank. Fear is spreading everywhere.
Suddenly, you hear the two scariest words in finance: margin call. Lenders are hitting the panic button. They're demanding more collateral, and they want it right now. So what happens? Everybody starts selling everything. They are dumping stocks, they're dumping corporate bonds, anything they can, because they are desperate to get their hands on safe, reliable collateral. So in this moment of absolute total chaos, where does every single major financial player in the world run to? Where is the ultimate safe harbor? You guessed it. They all come rushing right back to the plumbing. They sell everything else to buy US Treasury bonds. So the key takeaway here is just incredible. Every crisis literally forces more of the world's money into the dollar system, which just hardens its dominance even more.
Okay, I know what some of you are thinking. But what about other countries' bonds? What about gold? Can't something else replace US Treasuries? It's a fair question. Let's put them to the test.
The hard reality is, it's not even a contest. No other system on Earth comes close. The potential alternatives, well, they have fragmented laws, or their markets are just way too small and shallow. But the United States system is totally unique. The US Treasury can print the pipes, meaning it can issue trillions in bonds to meet that insane global demand. The Federal Reserve can backstop the pipes. It's the ultimate guarantee. Together, they can absorb a global panic. And when things freeze up, they can be the ones to restart circulation. Nobody else can do all of that, period.
So, after all that, when you strip away the headlines, when you cut through the complex jargon, what are we left with? It's actually a pretty simple but really powerful truth.
And this is it. This is the whole ball game. The dollar isn't the world's top currency because of politics or because everyone loves the US. It's a simple matter of mechanics. The plumbing of the world was built for one type of pipe, and that pipe only works with one type of currency. Trying to do anything else without ripping out that entire system, well, it's just a pipe dream.